If somebody wants to, if somebody's on a medication, they're just sick of being on prescription drugs or want to try something new, want to go natural, how do they start? I mean, how do they, when they want to look into herbal or botanical medicine, how do they, where do you suggest they get started?
There's a double-edged sword to that. The first is you actually have to ask the question in a different way. Not how do they find what herb to look for, but how do they change their health status? Meaning what dietary changes they have to make, what lifestyle changes they have to make. Because in most cases, we catch colds and we get flus and viruses and stuff like that. But by and large, especially with the chronic stuff, we don't catch cancer per se, we develop cancer. We don't catch diabetes in most cases, we develop diabetes. We don't catch obesity, we develop obesity over time, arthritis. Name all the chronic diseases, heart disease, most reversible disease in the world that kills more Americans than anybody else, anything else, but totally reversible. But it's lifestyle induced. Most of them are lifestyle induced. So you have to first ask the question of what am I doing in my life that needs to change? And the first place you have to look at is diet. And then your lifestyle, stress reduction, exercise, and then that's when you go and say, well, what herbs do I use to help facilitate this process? There's a little bit of a problem to try to just say, I have high blood pressure, what herb should I take for high blood pressure? Now you have to say, why do you have high blood pressure? Is it because of stress? Is it because of weight? Is it because of fluid retention? Is it because of hardening of the arteries? So you have to kind of tease out exactly what's going on with your blood pressure and then say, what changes do I have to make? And then what supplements should I take in order to support the system so that you change the system and not just chase symptoms. And that's the key about true herbal medicine, is about changing the systems, not just anybody can get rid of a symptom. It's easy to kill pain. It's easy to get somebody down or get somebody up or get somebody going to the bathroom or stopping somebody with diarrhea. Symptoms are easy to manage. It's harder to get somebody to really change their system, and that's where true herbal medicine comes. So to get back to the, where do you go? We're actually lucky today in that there's a plethora of information available right at your fingertips. And while the internet has been criticized for having unvetted, uncritical information, it also has a tremendous amount of incredibly well-vetted information, really good information, even things like Wikipedia. I mean, have experts that can continually chime in on the protocols and definitions that are put on Wikipedia. WebMD has their own forums. Andy Weil has his own forums. Mayo Clinic, MD Anderson, National Institutes of Health, Office of Dietary Supplements. These are all organizations that have done some level of vetting of the information that's on their site. Now, mind you, most of those will be very conservative because they don't want to send people down a rosy herbal path and say don't go see your doctor or anything like that. So they're going to be very conservative. But the basis, the basis of the information is there. The basis of the dietary changes to make are there, like on the American Heart Association. And anti-cancer diet recommendations are there on the American Cancer Control Association's websites, or Cancer Control Societies of America, or National Cancer Institute. Everybody's talking about anti-cancer diets. So that's the first place, is just to start asking the questions and getting the information. Now, I tend to be a critical thinker, so when I get information, I can separate wheat from chaff, tease out what's real and what's wrong, what's not. It is harder for people that aren't as invested in this area as I am, but that's the single most important thing that I could say to anybody on the track of healing, that they have to become an expert in their own condition, and they can't just believe everything somebody says or everything they read, that they have to say what makes sense to them. And usually it's going to be a balanced approach, one that incorporates diet, lifestyle, stress reduction, exercise, and supplements in conjunction with that.